Jogos digitais para Xbox One, PlayStation 3 e PlayStation 4 você compra na loja.gameforfun.com.br. Acesse o nosso site.
Use your eyes.
Use your eyes. Come closer.
She can't focus.
Why can't she focus? Take a closer.
Do not forget my stories, Senua. Because your darkness comes from hell, and your fate lies there. The Northmen speak of 9 worlds. The world of men they call Midgard.
I guess it's the same with heights. You can stand on the edge, pretend it's going to be okay. But you know that death is near, waiting for you to make that little slip. You can't just wish things away.
The world of the dead is ruled by the giantess, Hela, daughter of Loki.
To Dillion.
To his soul. It won't open.
How will she get through?
Why won't it open?
Why can't she open it? She needs to challenge the gods.
She has to fight 2 gods first.
2 gods?
2 gates.
Who will she choose first?
One of them will kill her, I know it.
The Northmen say that in the beginning there was nothing but darkness, bitter cold to the north, fiery hot to the south. Ymir was a frost giant, a being of darkness, and all his sons and grandsons were dark after him.
Fight!
Is she lost? Last winter, before the tragedy, she journeyed into the wilds of her native land, living off berries, roots and rabbits. It's not uncommon, you see. We call such a person a particular. Some, like Truth, become Gelt in search of penance. Others, like Senua, to purge a curse. Those who make it back are forever changed.
The Northmen say that Odin and his brothers killed Ymir, and that the world of men was formed from his corpse. Northmen say you must sacrifice in order to receive.
Do you know what it's like to leave everything behind? Your home, loved ones, to head deep into the wilds, perhaps never to return. Senua does. Because when darkness speaks, it changes everything. Turning home into a foreign land and loved ones into strangers. Exile makes sense when you realize that you were never really home in the first place.
Was in search of knowledge and wisdom and magic. There was a very wise being named Mimir, who guarded the waters of wisdom which flow from the roots of the World Tree. The Northmen say that Odin has two ravens. Their names are Thought and Memory. The Northmen tell this story. Before the Earth was created, there was a world called Muspel.
There's always a way.
Find your own way.
You just have to find it.
Surt is waiting for you.
It was never going to be that easy.
He's waiting. Surt
It's waiting for you.
Find him.
The pyre.
The Northmen say that the defender of Muspel is called Surt, the foremost of the fire giants.
Another gate. Another gate.
She needs to find it.
Another fire sacrifice.
Another fire
Another
sacrifice.
sacrifice.
It's too far.
She'll never find it. She'll never make her way back.
She needs to remember the way back.
What happens when she finds it?
Everything will burn.
Concentrate. Concentrate on where you're going. She needs to remember the path.
Everything will burn. Then how will she find the way back?
She won't. She won't be able to tell.
The Northmen believe that the world will be destroyed someday. They call it Ragnarok. The Northmen say that at Ragnarok, the sons of Muspel will travel to battle in the ship called Naglfar, the corpse ship. Northmen say that what we see as a rainbow is the bridge that goes from the world of men to the world of the gods.
The journey to Helheim is never a straight.
However you come to the gold-covered bridge that leads to Hell, you may find it guarded by a giantess.
You will find yours.
She will ask your name. She will ask your lineage. She will ask your business. The Northmen tell of the warrior woman Brynhild, who leapt into fire and is challenged by the giantess. Hela possesses large dwelling places in Helheim. Tall are her walls, high are her gates. The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to whomever can release it. Many try, the sword comes out. Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravens, night after night. As the she-wolf licks the sweet honey from Sigmund's face, he bites the wolf's tongue. The she-wolf pulls away, but Sigmund holds on. The chains break, and he is free. After his escape, Sigmund lives like us, hidden in the forest. His enemy, King Sigurd, believing him dead. His sister.
Day after day, watching from afar, she mimicked him.
Perfecting her own secret dance. Wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
Sigmund's sister trades shapes with a sorceress, and in disguise, she lies with her own brother. As Sigmund and Sinfjotli are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave mound. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the grave mound and set fire to Sigurd's hall. And here is the end of Sigmund's story. He was a fierce and great warrior who fought many battles.
Find it.
gemstones.
It's in front of you.
Find it.
The metal, the runes.
You need that sword.
Go to the shard.
Find the shards.
Where is it? Find it. There it is.
Focus.
There's the shard. Focus.
Focus.
Use your eyes. Look.
Get closer.
Can you see?
A king in the north forced the dwarves to make a sword that would never fail and never rust, and that would slice through iron and stone and bring victory to its bearer.
I don't recognize this place.
Where are we?
Where is she?
It feels wrong. Where are we now? Burial mound. So strange that we go to such lengths to bury death. Something so very ordinary, inevitable. It's as if we conspired to hide death, because we have no answer for it. But when it comes and forces itself onto our friends or loved ones, then comes the reckoning. Don't go in there.
Go in. You have to go in.
Take the torch.
It's too dark. Take it. This will help you.
Careful.
You have to be able to see.
Who's there?
Dillian, I'm here. I'm here for the trials. Like when we first met, remember?
What was that? Did you hear that? Nothing. Was that voices?
Is that his voice or the voice dead?
Not Dillian.
Dillian's calling to you. Can you hear?
Herver disguises herself as a man to join a band of warriors, and soon becomes their leader. When they come to the island where her father is buried, her men do not want to go ashore. They say that evil haunts the island, and that it is a worse place by day than other places are by night. Fearless, she lands alone. There are many grave mounds, and all of them have ghostly flames burning over them. She comes to the grave mound of her father after passing through these ghostly fires, as though they were mist.
To keep going.
I can hear him.
Within the burial mound, Herver calls on her father to wake from death and bring her his sword. She says that it is not seemly for the dead in their grave mounds to bear valuable weapons.
The voice is getting louder. Listen.
Dillian. Listen, listen, listen. It's him. Listen.
It's getting louder.
There he is.
You're getting closer.
Keep going.
Senua, follow the voice.
You're nearly there.
Dillian's voice.
It's him. He's going to save you.
Fight. It's not him. It's not him.
We told you. We told you it was a trick.
That voice doesn't sound like Dillian.
What's happening? It's not him, it can't be.
What's that sound? The voice is changing.
That's not Dillian.
Herver ignores her father's warnings. The grave mound opens, and it seems to be full of fire.
To keep going.
There's still more.
There's always more to do.
It's not going to be easy. Can you do another one?
It's too much.
Have you got the energy? She hasn't got the energy.
Too much to do.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Balder's mother makes everything in the world, fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beast, bird, serpent, poison, sickness, smell.
He loves you. Calling you. Dillian. Dillian, we're here. Dillian. We're really here.
Go through it. It's dangerous. Right. That's fine. No, thank you. It's unsafe.
Dillian, there he is.
There he is.
What are you waiting for?
Quick, find a way.
Find him.
Go through.
Where is he?
Where's he gone?
We're in the wrong world.
He's not here.
She's in the wrong world.
He's not in this world.
He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world.
The dark.
The dark.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. And Senno explored new paths into the unknown.
Is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe? I did not ask the mistletoe, Balder's mother confesses. I thought it was too young. Oh dear.
Why isn't he here? He's gone. He's in the dark world. He's gone to the dark world.
You're in the wrong world.
He's in the other world.
The dark world.
Without you.
There he is.
Where are you taking
He's
me?
up there. He's up there.
Darkness is swallowing you both.
There's a way. There is a way up there. Find the way. She can do this. You're nearly there. She can find the way.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe. I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies, "Here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands." And Höth throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him. The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it.
You and in torches.
She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Balder's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, she bursts with grief,
Had that love
and she dies.
Squashed it. Strangled.
She's put next to her husband.
the curse cannot be.
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hel and ask Hela to let Balder return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Balder stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Balder. Weep him out of hell. But everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except
Your curse.
He was kind. You have no chance now.
Nobody will love you again.
Ever again. You can... Do you think she remembers
The curse
the Northmen tell how the gods punished Loki for Balder's death. I saw once a plague strike northern lands of ice.
This place feels...
What is this place?
This place feels... It's... creepy.
Creepy. It feels wrong. It feels strange. Where is it?
There he is.
There he is.
The light. Go towards it. He's in the house.
He's disappearing.
Follow him.
Don't make us
It's a test. Like the old warrior trials. Dillian will help.
It's not rot. She must taste it. Do you smell it? No. Don't worry. Not everyone can. So on spring day when she went to the river with Dillian and the others. For the water. She could taste the rot. But no one else could. She knew something was wrong. Something sinister. She begged them to leave, but they just laughed at her. But soon enough, as the bodies piled up, no one was laughing. And they knew that she was not like that.
The Northmen speak of a death moon, a light shaped like a half moon that appears inside a house and goes around the walls, because the dead return to haunt the living. If you see the death moon, then beware, because there will be death in that house.
Just a small piece of the puzzle.
You found a way.
To climb the tower.
A ladder.
Quick. What now?
You can see it. A line to the truth. The bridge.
She did
You
it.
did it. You fixed the bridge.
Fixed it.
You passed the dragon's house.
You succeeded.
Senua! Come to me! Where are you?
I'm here. I'm right here.
Are you in there?
There was a Northman called Grettir, big, red-haired, immensely strong. I will tell you of a great hero named Sigurd, son of Sigmund, no less.
The light's gone out. Run! Get through it as quick as you can. The panic is here. Run! Get to the Stay there. You have to rest here on the side.
Rain the dwarf's sole desire is to possess this dragon's accursed treasure, and he uses Sigurd to reclaim it. He tells Sigurd the story of Fafnir's gold, and the good-hearted hero promises to slay the dragon if Rain would forge a strong sword for him. Sigurd remembers that his father once possessed a sword given to him by Odin. Odin broke the sword to bring about Sigmund's death, but Sigurd's mother still has the pieces. And so Rain reforges the famous sword. Sigurd uses the sword first to avenge his father, and then he and Rain go in search of Fafnir. The dragon Fafnir is so large and deadly.
But she wouldn't listen. She never choose. And now everybody is dead. Because of her. It's all her fault. All her fault. Weak. She should have known. And she should have. Why doesn't she learn? What will she learn? She doesn't understand.
Now the darkness has Dillian.
Although Sigurd kills the dragon, Rain wants to keep Fafnir's gold all for himself. Rain also wants the strength and wisdom of the dragon, so he drinks its blood and asks Sigurd to roast Fafnir's heart for him. Sigurd does so, but when he touches the roasted heart to see if it is done, he burns his finger. Without thinking, he licks his finger and tastes the dragon's blood. In that moment, he understands the language of birds and hears them talk. Sigurd's newfound power lets him hear the birds speak. And they say,
I can't help but think of him. A tender guiding flame in a world so black. The longer it burned, the more she convinced herself that there was nothing beyond its reach.
Mother, I won't let the darkness trick me again. I know you're safe with the gods. I can feel Hela's gaze, searching for secrets inside of me. Secrets that even I can't see. I'm not here to fight my past. I'm here for Dillian. I will fulfill my vow, whatever the cost.
the Northmen say the gods will fight their last battle at Ragnarok.
Her soul is valuable.
Hela will want us.
Hela.
In turn, she can take Dillian's soul and lay him to rest.
There's an illusion. She's found a way. There's a way.
She can see.
She must align herself. She can do it.
There's the door.
She aligns herself. It's there.
The Northmen say that at Ragnarok, the gods will face a ship full of their foes, which Loki has steered to Asgard. The Northmen say that each god will do battle at Ragnarok. Odin will fight the monstrous wolf and be killed, but his son
will avenge him and plunge his sword into the heart of the beast.